Throughout history, there have been events that affected people on a massive scale. Wars, natural disasters, human atrocities. One wonders why we haven't all given up as a species. The answer is community. Despite hardship and tragedy, humans can depend on their community to help them persevere in their time of need. In Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close, Oscar and his family all share a common tragedy, the loss of Oscar's father on September 11th. Oscar deals with this loss by searching for the black whose name is written on his father's envelope, and in so doing, forms bonds with other people in his community. In a way, these people help Oscar deal with his loss, and the connections he forms improve his overall well-being, as well as that of the people he meets along the way. In the end, it is because of this community that he finally unravels the mystery of the envelope and the key, and gains a little closure concerning his father. Furthermore, if you look at it in a different way, you could argue that the book itself is a way for people who lost someone on 9/11 to form a community and heal. In A Thousand Splendid Suns, Layla, Mariam, and Aziza form their own little community. Even though they are all suffering the same hardships, Mariam does not bond with Layla at first. In fact, she doesn't get along with Layla until Aziza is born. Then the group starts to get along, and Mariam ends up protecting Layla and Aziza both by sacrificing herself for their survival and safety. Their community bond was so strong that it literally saved their lives. If we take a look at another one of Husseini's stories, The Kite Runner, we see the same theme. Amir is willing to journey into a dangerous country just to save his childhood friend's son, whom Amir has never met. That is the power of community. Moving away from works of fiction, let's take a look at some real-life examples of community. In August of 2005, Hurricane Katrina tore relentlessly at the Gulf of Mexico and the eastern seaboard of the United States. New Orleans was hit especially hard. The levees that were supposed to be shielding the city could not handle the sheer volume of the storm surge, thus leaving the city at the mercy of the tempest. An estimated 400,000 people were displaced by the storm, which left an approximate $81 billion worth of damage in its wake. Rather than simply giving up, the survivors of this calamity banded together and kept strong. Together, with help coming from all around the world, they began to rebuild not just their city, but their lives. The community they formed is stronger than ever and is continuing to rebuild to this day. According to a study conducted by researchers at Virginia Tech, community support has positive benefits for people coping with traumatic mass shootings. In the study, the researchers teamed up with investigators from Finland and documented the responses of 4 communities that suffered similar tragedies in both countries. What they found was that following a tragedy, community events and gatherings helped keep up the spirits of the community members and prevent depression or suicide. Seeking professional counseling did not promote solidarity in the community. The media also plays a role in the community healing process, sometimes without realizing it, and has to be careful how they portray the event. If they make the story about the shooter rather than the effect on the families and the community of the victim, they might slow the healing process and even glorify the perpetrator in infamy. Instead, the media should make sure to focus more on the stories of the victims. This will prevent the shooters from getting the attention they crave, and will also raise public awareness and support for the community that is recovering from a heavy loss. Now let's hear some personal accounts from people who have been helped by their communities.
Howdy there. You know, community is a very strong thing in my community, because it's a community. Actually, community is way more than just a community. Sometimes it can be a base for us to stand on, like a toy structure. You know, I have actually been saved many times by my community. not for the regular reasons, but, well, every now and then I get a little close to death, you know? And so, at that time, I sacrificed one of my best friends. And after this sacrifice, it returns me to my youthful age of 40, in which I begin to age backwards. Around the time of 10, I, see that I am getting stupid. So I sacrifice another one of my friends. And that has been going on for the last, 300 years? I lost track, because, man, time flies when you're having fun. If you know what I mean. Oh shit, not again.
My name's Jerry Sherlisle.
I'm Ivanka.
Well, you remember the earthquake of 1910. See, we were playing tennis in the backyard, and suddenly there was this shaking. I couldn't wrap my head around it. I'd never experienced such a thing. But the ground was just shaking all about, and the pipes burst. The house was split in two. The whole place was just flooded. We would have never been able to bounce back if it weren't for the community. They helped us rebuild. They really stepped it up for Ivanka and I.
I'm Ivanka.
Yeah, well, I gotta apologize for the wife. She's a mail-order bride from Romania. And let's just say I'm not gonna leave a very high-scoring review. I mean, in the description, they said, long hair, speaks some English. I didn't realize some English meant 2 words. Isn't that right, Ivanka?
I'm Ivanka.
See, here's her name. It says those 2 words. I hear those words about every day. Do I get tired of it? Do I get angry? Sometimes.
To wrap things up, it's almost guaranteed that you'll go through at least one tragedy in your lifetime. So when you do, make sure you form strong bonds with those around you, because community is the most important part of overcoming a tragedy.
Watch. Man, that Ivanka's real.
I'm Ivanka.
I really hate Ivanka.
I'm Ivanka.
I could really do without Ivanka right now.
I'm Ivanka.
Ivanka.
I'm Ivanka.
Ivanka.
I'm Ivanka.
Ivanka.
I'm Ivanka.